Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Dekeither Stamps and the incomparable Brandee Williams. Back again talking about opportunities and being a part of the wealth creation that's happening right here in Jackson, Mississippi. There are folks all over the country who are being a part of this, and I want my friends, your friends, to be in part of making this money here in Jackson, Mississippi, because it's our city. And we should be involved in this because folks around the country shouldn't be making money and then taking our money back somewhere else. We should be making it for ourselves.
That's correct.
So we're going to talk about a few things, a few opportunities about making money right here in Jackson, using real estate, and a couple other added things as well. So welcome to the show. I know you've been busy.
I have. It's a good thing, though.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So talk to us about what are the opportunities now?
Well, I guess since it's been almost 2 weeks ago, the opportunity still exists in terms of, it's not loud enough. Veronica, hold on just 1 second.
How about now? Keep talking.
All right, so the opportunities in terms of Jackson still present a very good opportunity for people who want to get into the real estate investment property. Just before I came on, I did do a search to see exactly what Jackson has to offer. And for less than $25,000, you can own property here in Jackson in order to create the wealth that you've talked about in terms of being able to help with your community, with being able to help your block or your neighborhood or whatever else that you want to be able to do. You can definitely be able to do that here in Jackson for less than $25,000.
You got some fans.
Hey, Carlotta. I'm seeing that. That's my soror, too.
all right. Yeah. I'm a nun for none, so pray for me. But we got a lot of properties in Jackson. You know, we've been canvassing and running across opportunities, and even inside neighborhoods. You know, on our side, it's neighborhood stabilization. When you go into a neighborhood and you see 3 or 4 vacant homes, the folks in those neighborhoods could be purchasing them and renting them out versus someone from across the country purchasing them and then renting them out. So talk about, you know, becoming a rental property owner, getting into that industry.
All right, so to his point, there are people from California, I have investors from California, even from New York, Florida, that call and they see and want to be able to obtain property here in Mississippi. What you essentially would do is obviously you would call me to be able to identify those properties. Again, a lot of these properties are going to need some work, but you would call me. We will go through the steps in terms of getting a pre-qualification letter, meaning your bank just has to be able to tell us, Mr. Stamps, you have $25,000 in the bank in order to buy this property.
Now, how many homes in Jackson are on the market right now for $25,000 or less?
So on the market in total, I just read, is like 78.
Right.
So 78, just less than 25,000.
So there's 78 that are on the market.
Correct.
Now, off the market are dilapidated houses and things like that, but just on the market listed are 78. So there's 78 opportunities right now.
Correct.
Where someone could go in, purchase a home, and then turn right around and rent it out because we got a lot of folks.
Yes, our housing market right now, the HUD, as most people know it, as is known, they need housing. They need affordable housing that people can live in. I mean, livable houses. Let me clarify that, because there are some people that are on housing assistance programs that I've spoken with, and the roof is caving in or the floors are messed up, and literally or one lady, she had an infestation of rats. It's really bad. But she had nowhere to go. Like, she was stuck between a rock and a hard place because where she needed to go, there was no more homes or whatever the case may be.
So with it being tax season, folks getting $5,000 and $10,000 back, right?
Yeah, so you filed yesterday, which should have been your last day.
Yeah, I got mine in the last minute.
So that means you got that big. That means he has a lot of money coming back then. He waited to the last minute.
I'm happy though, because owing money tells the same means you're making money.
That's true too.
Yeah, so $25,000 homes, you show up with $5,000 and you're purchasing a $25,000 house that's on the market. I think you should be, danger close of getting approved.
Well,
unless you got some crazy stuff with your credit, but
Yeah, and the way that's going to work is it depends on if you're owner-occupant, there are some programs out here to be able to help you with that funding. The thing that you have to understand, even like with an investment pool, I think we talked about that last time, being able to pool your money together with you and maybe an investment club and everybody come up with $5,000. Again, we're not talking about getting rich overnight. This is a process and it will take some steps, but what you're doing is setting yourself up for money to come down the road, generational wealth.
So if you want to get yourself stabilized. Let's say you don't want to be in the rental property market. You just want to get myself stabilized. I'm in an apartment right now. I just got this income tax check back. There are $25,000 homes out there. I purchase one, I work on me, I use this opportunity because the mortgage on a $25,000 note is, if you do, a basic mortgage.
Well, now in terms of mortgage, what's going to happen is that you may not be able to get a mortgage per se, not 30 years. You're not going to do it because that's considered like banks, I'll be honest, it's not enough money for them. But you can probably get a personal loan. Yeah. They just use the money wisely, but be able to pay it back. Even with a personal loan, 5 years, years on a personal loan, you're still a couple $100 a month. Again, you can do this 10 times over on this program. I've had a lady who, we talked about this a little bit last time, student loans, and she can only afford a $50,000 house. But we found one, actually, in Jackson. And the thing is, she said, I'm going to take it to be able to quickly pay this house off. This is not my dream home, but what I want to do is rent it out when I get through paying for it.
That's right.
I was like, wow, I can need to bring you on and tell people. I mean, again, sometimes you just got to think about it. I'm not going to live here forever, but at the same time, it's manageable for her and her family. She doesn't have to be necessarily what we call, I hate to use this term, but house broke, meaning all your money is going towards your expenses. You have children, you got all kind of things going on, and all you're doing is paying bills. Still live. Jackson's still a great area to be able to travel and do other things. She just wanted to be able to do that for her family and still have money left over every time she gets a paycheck.
That's important. And, spending money on, because you're going to live somewhere.
Yeah.
So you might as well live somewhere that's affordable. That you can manage. And I say all the time, I don't want to tell our personal business, but my sister, myself, my aunt, and 3 of my cousins have houses that we purchased in the same neighborhood, and I don't think any of us spent an excessive amount of money.
And see, that's the thing about it.
You can recreate Village right now, recreate and bond your family.
That's true. And you can take it and you can create a street where you can bond the street, or you can control the street. A lot of times we hear, well, this street is too bad or this is bad. Buy it.
Right.
Buy it and you put into, again, you can have your own HOA fees. You can do this all legally. You can be able to have your own rules and things that you want to do for this neighborhood, and you can control those in terms of, no parking in the grass. If this is done, if this is done, this is a part of, against our HOA. You're owning it. You're going to manage those people that's coming in and out of your homes because the fact is that you own the block. So think about it like that.
It's time for us to have a deeper ownership. Yes. And it's apartments in Jackson going for over $1,000 a month for an apartment.
Yeah.
And and me personally, I was always taught to own it.
Yeah.
If you can, I know some people got maybe some credit issues, maybe some challenges in the past, but if you're telling me that there are 70 houses that are for sale for $25,000 on the market, right? On the market, and that has to be less than $300 a month.
Right. Even if you have credit challenges, let's talk about that for a second. Again, we know some people have credit issues. I mean, it's just what happens. Think about it like this. How about let's work on our credit? Even if let's just say this year we can't do anything in terms of buying a new house. How about we take that money from our income tax check? Let's pay off that debt. Let's pay off all the stuff that may not let a bank be able to lend to us. In the process of paying that off, we're saving money. Let's save some money in the bank. And again, can be done very quickly in terms of being able to buy property. You could essentially take, again, using your money wisely, take the debt that you've incurred getting it off the records and off the books, start saving some additional money that you're having, then be able to go back to the bank to be able to say, okay, now I need a personal loan. And then your credit score is going to go up in the process. Mm-hmm. You're going to be more marketable in terms of them saying, let me lend to you, because they can see on paper. Because, again, everything is about, if you don't have the funds, you're going to have to need this money from somebody. Let's go ahead and let's do it the right way in terms of getting the funding. But we have to work on the credit to be able to make sure the bank feels like this is going to be a solid investment.
Hey, I want my friends to make money. That's just the bottom line to it. I want my friends to make money. Who wants broke friends? I don't. Right?
Our engineer over here is saying he doesn't want broke friends, and he wants to make money too.
Yeah,
So
I want my friends to make money. So, that's why I want to have this conversation with my friends. Thank you for coming. But there are opportunities here. And in 10 years, these opportunities will not be here.
No.
I can promise you, at the rate, remember I told y'all last time, I know someone who just bought 200 parcels of property right here in my ward.
Really?
Yeah.
200.
200.
Wow.
And wrote a check for it.
See. And again, you got to think about this. If you can take this same scenario, again, we're talking about strategies that the common person can do. I know I get asked that question, well, what can I do being that, I'm just starting? Again, we want to definitely pay off the debt that that you have. Excessive debt right now means more money is going out of our household. How can we definitely look into buying any rental when we have our own household has so much debt going out? And again, he's talking about a 10-year plan in terms of the houses. I'm looking at it, let's just say you can't do it today, but you want to do it. Let's pay some of this debt off. Let's stop spending money that we necessarily don't need right now, but be able to take this money and put it into an investment property that over time is going to pay for itself, be able to allow us to get other different things going, as well as create additional revenue streams, not only for us, but even for our children. But you got to start somewhere. And let's just say you own your house. We didn't even think about that. We haven't discussed that. Let's say you own your house, you have equity. Use the equity in your house to be able to fund this project. Think about it. Yes, you have to pay, you have to pay back the equity. But if you think about it, your rental house is basically paying for the equity that you pulled out of your home.
And nobody pays your mortgage like somebody else.
Exactly. And again, there is a need for houses. Again, once we buy the house, you're going to have contractors. You're going to have, people to come in, and you're going to have to make it livable. You're going to have to give the city of Jackson to get a permits and all of those different things in place. And then the process is after that, once it's livable, everything has been checked off on, signed off on, then you can market your house. You can rent a house. You could even ask me, we do property management as well, and we will actually manage that property for you. And again, we will screen them and do all of the necessary steps in terms of pulling their credit, things of that nature. And essentially, we would just give you a check every month. They would make the deposits to us. I mean, we would do everything in terms of basically giving you your money every month.
Right. So this is interactive. So if anybody has any comments, questions, things like that, definitely give us a call and send us a little message on the Facebook Messenger here, and we'll answer them live.
Yeah.
I got folks texting me. They're watching me.
But then send them the text. They're going to have questions, right. I'm sure.
So, again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about taking advantage of opportunities ourselves, right? Being a part of the wealth creation here in Jackson. Right now, there are several properties, whether it be people talk about abandoned homes. I see opportunities.
Right.
If you don't want to buy one of those abandoned homes, there's over 70 properties that are $25,000 or below that are on the market. They just need a little bit of work to become good rental properties. And strategies of how to do this. But in 10 years, these opportunities will not be here in Jackson. I can almost promise you, especially after August. Another good thing that we talked about last time, just a little bit, was the state of Mississippi is about to auction off every piece of state-owned property in the state because the state's broke. The state needs money.
Wow.
And it's going to flush all of it. All of those 8,000 properties that you see around town, the state's going to get rid of them. So...
And this is happening this August?
This August. So right now, and it's going to be online.
Really?
So folks all over the country
are going to be bidding on these.
But we can go right now and apply ourselves and get this property. The state would much rather give it to you than give it to somebody across the country right now. So I'm telling you, this is an opportunity, a real opportunity to do real wealth creation.
Correct.
Right now.
Right now. And the other thing is that a lot of people have family members that do a lot of work that's really, really good. Some people that just, want to do work like this, definitely get them involved. I mean, again, they're going to help with the community. They're helping to help with the wealth creation that we're talking about because, again, they have the skills. And some people just want to, there's several people around that want to help and donate. They like to do stuff like this. Tap into those resources. I think sometimes we think, well, I don't know anybody that can do this or who do I call? If you sit down, sometimes you can actually think about several people that you know or someone that knows that does really good work and then maybe work with them in terms of getting these repairs done. But it is reasonable, and it's something realistic that you can do today in order to start this process.
And if you want to raise money for the church, there's a way that the state of Mississippi can give a nonprofit organization property, even cheaper than it sells it. And your church could fix it up and sell the house and take that money and put it back in that building fund. Maybe you can finally get that doorknob fixed.
Well, not only that, churches can be able to, let's say they have families that are in need or families that, maybe something happened with the husband and somebody died and they just don't have anywhere for the member to go. Some churches are definitely looking for these opportunities because they see the real need in the community and want to help. And a lot of people that go to church, there's a lot of people around there that can do a lot of this work, and then they can get it done themselves for a less, expensive cost as well.
I know one church that has a home right down the street from the church. It's fully furnished, and when they have guests come in, that's where they stay there. And it's more of a home environment. They're always having people coming in for different types of things, and they stay right there in the house. And, they work it out. But these opportunities are there, and I just don't want us to miss them because we're so distracted about other conversations. And not saying that these other conversations are not important.
Exactly.
Right? Because everybody cares about potholes. Everybody cares about ditches and drains and infrastructure. And even the mayor's race. That's important. But more important than that, I want you in that camera over there to make money. That's the whole point. Because no matter who you elect as president or mayor, your pockets matter to you most. Yeah. So let's do something about that.
But I think if you think about it, in a couple of years, you're going to sit back and say, what could I have done, or what should I have done? Now is your time to do it. We could talk about the what ifs all day long, and then when you blink, just like if you think about, most of the people that's watching have probably either have kids or grandkids, or whatever. But if you think about it, you'd be like, oh, my baby, and then you blink. You're like, wow, the baby's 2. You blink again, the baby's 5. You blink again, they're 10. Now they're about to be sweet 16. Just as quickly as your children grow up, these same conversations, we're having them, and then you're going to blink and be like, wow, I missed that opportunity. And it's like, where did the time go? The time still moved at the same pace. It's just that our thought process is going to finally catch up with it, and by that time, they might be too late.
A rental property is great, but then when your child gets to be right out of college or in college. Yeah. I would rather them to rent the property from me.
But let's think about the money that you made from the rental property. Let's say, all these years your child, you've been saving their money and saving the money from the residual from obviously paying your note, taxes, insurance. Let's see, now you look up, your child has a great scholarship, so you don't have to pay for their school. And now the only thing the child needs is a car. Think about it. You can go pay cash for this car.
That's right.
Think about it. You saved all this money, all this time, and still have money in the bank to be able to do whatever else your child may need for college. So it's a great opportunity.
Yep. Just like the old adage my mom taught me. Have 2 bikes. One to ride, one to rent. Same thing with a house. Have 2 houses. One to live in, one to rent.
Yeah, you like that. It's a great.
Hey, that's where I got that mantra from. Nobody pays your mortgage like somebody else.
And it's a great model to live by. And I think if more people understand these are things that we could do right now. It's not for people that you see on TV. It's not for people that's unattainable. These are for working class people. I think the last show we had a statistic of 95% of millionaires, invest in real estate. So that tells you something in terms of why real estate is important. That's exactly why you need to be able to invest in real estate.
And to be able to pick up a lot in the city of Jackson for less than $1,000?
I mean, come on. Where's she gonna go for $1,000 and buy something for less than
a lot? You put two of them together you put two lots together for $2,000,
and you can build on it. And then you could be able to build your house. Again, we're talking about money in realistic ways. Again, this video is about making money.
Right.
You can then partner with your banks. And let's say you didn't like any house. You can build your own community. You can build your own duplex, fourplex, whatever you want, and then do it that way. Even if you have to sit on the lots and just pay taxes for a while. These are your lots.
Man, it's your dirt.
Your parcels. Nobody's going to do anything with them, until you decide to do something with them yourself. They're yours. Nobody can take them from you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're totally right. And I look forward to, give your contact information.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, again, for those people who would like to definitely give me a call, again, I'm Brandee Williams, Exit Nelson Realty. My number is 601-454-2370. My email address is kind of long, so the best way is you could call me or text me. Again, 601-454-2370, and I'll be sure to send you any information. I'll answer any information you all may have on the process or lenders. I have lenders on hand, as well as people who can do it all. I mean, we have attorneys, also have councilmen. I mean, that does help. And we can.
You may have a zoning problem,
Exactly, and then we definitely need him to get involved, but we definitely have a lot of resources in terms of being able to help you if you want to get into the real estate investment market.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, I've been canvassing a lot lately.
Yeah, how's that
been going? I'm beating the streets.
How many steps have you gotten in?
Well, today we're lagging behind. We're only at 5,000 steps today.
Oh.
But I've been on
That's pretty good, though.
That ain't bad. We did 23,000 the other day.
Oh.
Rolling. It was like 11 miles. Mr. Bowie was with me. Yeah. And,
our legs should be on fire.
But we ran across opportunities. Right over in the Sunkist neighborhood, there are two houses side by side that are vacant. They're the only two vacant homes in the whole neighborhood. And that neighborhood, when I talked about stabilization earlier, I talked to the neighbors there and said, why don't y'all buy the house? Yeah, just a group of y'all get together and buy them.
Or see if they at HOA, if they have homeowners associations, they may want to be able to do it, but it would be able to help the community and the neighborhood if they can be able to control by buying those two houses and being able to control who moves in and out the house if they need to rent it out. I mean, because there's going to be people who have to rent. Let's just be honest. Everybody right now is not going to be able to buy a house. So let's think about the realistic thing of people need to rent. So everybody needs somewhere to stay. If we buy into our own neighborhood, we can control it. We can keep, again, everyone wants property values. You hear that being thrown around a lot. Then buy it. This way you can control certain elements within your property, but you will be able to control the subdivision so that you can be able to keep your property value where it is.
And one other thing that we're doing with our neighborhoods is we are reaching out to the property owners who rent and asking that they put the neighborhood association's covenant in their rental agreement.
Really?
So that
that's even better.
The property owner can hold the renter accountable to the covenant of the association.
That's a great idea.
And so.
So then there's no room for error. So
that's right.
So let's just think about this. You hear about the horror stories with renters and tearing your house up. And I'll be honest. I mean, I've been managing property for a while. It happens, but it's not like, it doesn't happen like that. I mean, you kind of have to be a good gauge in terms of who you rent to, and you're monitoring and you're screening them. But at the end of the day, to your point, if they were to mess up your house or they were to violate the covenants, then based on your lease, there are certain things you can put in there to say, hey, violate this lease. I mean, we can go down there and talk to the judge if you want to, but he's got to go. I mean, so there's things you can do, realistic things that you can do in order to make sure you keep your house, make sure it doesn't get torn up, but more importantly, being able to help stabilize your neighborhood.
Yep, because that putting the covenants inside of the rental agreement is helping out a lot, and I see it as a really good stabilizer. It
is.
Because sometimes the property owners don't have the legal footing to do some of the things that we want them to do. So he says both Stamp, Stokes, and Slaughter. I appreciate it, Kelsey. Is that Kelsey? I think that person's name is something else.
That's Kelsey Johnson.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. But to your point, I think if people definitely, again, and you can put all that into the lease, and it does become a binding agreement. So even if they go down and they happen to end up in one of the judges downtown in terms of, you have to put them out. I mean, it's in writing. I mean, it's there. So either you didn't read it or you didn't think they were serious, but it's there, and it has to be enforced, and it will be upheld. Again, all that is a good way to make sure that no one is able to basically come into your area and just do it. You have investors who don't live here who just are ready to hurry up and get some money. Again, they don't live here, so they don't care if they don't get a renter who's not going to keep the property up, or who are going to park in the grass, or who are going to, make loud music. They don't care. All they want is by the 5th, that's money.
That's right.
That's it. You care because you live in the community. Oh, it's Malcolm. You live in a community, you work there, you want your grandkids come over. You care, so you want to be able to maintain it. And that's the case, then you want to be able to say, let me make sure that these rules are in there so that we obviously can feel safe, and then our kids can be able to come over here, my grandkids or whatever the case, and live in a good community.
Yeah, I want to have enough houses so that, my kids and grandchildren can rent from Big Daddy.
You going to charge them?
Of course. This is a business.
Like, you must going to be like a little minimum amount of money.
No.
Like rental rates?
They're going to get whatever the rental rates are. I'll knock them off, I'll knock them off 20%.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if you let your kids freeload, then they're going to be freeloaders.
Well, I didn't say 20%. I just think if the rental rate, let's just say, is $700.
Yeah, I'll give you $500.
They have to just pay $500.
Yeah.
What about $450 or $400?
I mean, that's negotiable. Depends on how much more work they do. They come out of the farm, help me and my father out.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna have to help. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We can trade the whole thing off for work and labor.
Okay.
They get the right amount of labor. We can work it out.
Okay. Well, and that's a good philosophy.
Yeah, but nothing for free.
Nothing for free.
One of the best lessons my mom taught me was to take a rental property from me.
What you mean?
I didn't adhere to our agreement.
Oh, wow.
So she said, well, go do something else.
I bet you learned then.
I learned then. And all things get an understanding.
That's right.
Right? So, but it works out well. When you can give property to your children, not debt, not, these other things, but property, just to let them have somewhere to stay. Because everybody knows they're going through situations when they're going through life. That's
true.
Where you need to move back home, right? So my mom's philosophy is, well, you can move somewhere else. There's a property over here for that, not my house.
Really?
Here you go over there. There you go. Handle that. And then you don't have to deal with that in your home.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah, have that rental property aside over there just in case your child needs a little somewhere to stay. They don't have to come back to you.
That's a good philosophy.
Then you go over there. You
That's
handle
a good
that.
philosophy.
Right?
So. Okay.
Peace.
I think at the end of the day, I think we gave them a lot of, again, these are just practical examples. We want to be able to obviously talk about wealth creation, realistic, again, not pie in the sky type of philosophies, things that may be seeming unattainable. We want to be able to talk and give everyone, again, this is knowledge that most people don't want to tell you. Most millionaires, billionaires, they're not going to teach this to you.
Right.
Or if so, they're going to charge you a lot of money. Trust me, there's a lot of classes just for the stuff that we're coming on here to do that's literally just Facebook Live that is costing hundreds of dollars. And we're giving it to you for nothing. Just paying attention and listening.
Pay attention, share the videos, like, subscribe, and be a part of this because Jackson is moving.
It is.
Don't let what they show you in the news fool you.
Correct.
Jackson is moving, and it's folks in Jackson just sitting back watching it happen.
Yep, they're going to blink and they're going to be
watching
like,
it.
what happened?
Hey,
the
Indians are frying fish in the hood now.
Are they really? No, so we have good chicken.
Boston Supreme over on
Boston Supreme is like, I'm from Chicago, so it's up north, right?
I know.
So.
I know, but what I'm saying is, folks in the Indian community are frying fish now.
Trying to get money.
And they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So there are other people from other places moving on these opportunities and leaving people who are here. And nothing against the Indians, because that's business. That's what they're supposed to do. But we, people who live here in this community, need to be making money in our community. And so we got to take advantage of this because in a few years, there's going to be a lot of millionaires made right here in Jackson, Mississippi.
That's true.
I mean, undercover millionaires.
Right. They won't even be they won't publicize it. They'll be you won't even know it.
Yeah. I mean, I got a good friend of mine who makes $40,000 a month on HUD properties.
Wow.
Right here in Jackson.
That's a lot of money. They have a lot of property, yeah.
Right.
To get $40,000, I'm just telling you all, that's a lot of money.
But they've quietly picked up a property. Picked up a property here.
Behind the scenes.
And over the course of 15 or 20 years,
they now
have a portfolio of properties all right here in Jackson.
Mm-hmm. And don't nobody know it.
And nobody know it. Mm-hmm. They just drive their little old truck all the time with a little door or a little sink on the back of it.
And then they but again, that's how you make money.
Yeah, I'm talking about real wealth.
And then they can go to the bank and get whatever they want.
Right. Because they got cash flow coming in. They got real estate. Mm-hmm. They got several things going on. But this is how you build that.
Correct.
You
got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. Even if it's just you and your income tax check and getting your own living situation together. Mm-hmm. Like when I got out of the military. It was I had some income. Mm-hmm. So I bought a house, and I'll just be honest with you. When I bought that house, I think I paid $35,000 for the house. My cell phone bill was more than the mortgage. Wow. Well, I got cell phone, iPad, daughter, kids.
Oh, you mean like all your
right?
I was
my AT&T bill.
Okay, I'm thinking like
was more than the mortgage. I think my mortgage was like $235. Wow. And my cell phone bill was like $245.
And wait, just speaking of that, mortgage rates. Mortgage rates may go up, and this definitely we're seeing a trend of it's going up a little bit. I think on my page there back in the 1970s, 80s, I think mortgage rates were like 8 and 9%, mm-hmm. and of course now they're at a record low, about 4.25% right now presently. Again, depending on your interest rate, on your credit. But I'm saying that to say, when you think about how much money you were paying at 8% or 9%, mm-hmm. you were just paying nothing but principal. You weren't even paying, you weren't paying nothing but interest. You weren't even touching the principal. It was mm-hmm. like pennies on a dollar. Now you can get it for 4.5%, and you could be able to realistically pay money on that principal.
And we're talking about 70 properties at $25,000 or lower.
That's a lot of...
Come on, man. Do I really need to buy that Lexus? Do I really need to buy that Escalade? I do need to get me a little Camry and go get this money.
Yeah, and then when you can go to the dealership and just pay cash for it. If that's what you want, again, we're not saying don't get it. We're saying just delay the gratification.
Be in a position. Like describe the position. And I know you're not a financial consultant or something like that. But describe like the position someone should be in to go spend $50,000 on a car.
Again, I can't say, again, you want to be able to have money where if the maintenance, I think I had someone tell me they went and got a Mercedes, mm-hmm. and the maintenance on it was very expensive. And I know mm-hmm. those that drive those nice cars know that you have to have money in the bank. Right. If it's not under warranty, it's going to be very costly for you mm-hmm. to maintain it. Tires, a couple $100. Oil change. Oil change is just a couple $100. You got
what?
Yeah.
An oil change is a couple $100?
Yeah.
I drive hoopties. I go get for $25 I get 5 quarts of oil.
Yeah, that's not that.
And I get the filter for free.
Because you're on a luxury vehicle. So people have to understand when you buy luxury means you have money to be able to pay for these things.
I paid $25 for 5 gallons of oil, 5 quarts of oil.
We're talking about
and I jack it up in the backyard and
do it yourself.
Do it myself.
See, you're not.
And I buy me a 6-pack, and that's my Sunday afternoon.
Again, luxury vehicles require maintenance, and that maintenance is very costly. So, again,
$200 for an oil change? I can't get over that.
We'll call somebody else. So. Yeah, if you have to be able to afford all this, and it's not nothing.
Remember, my house even $200, so for me, $200 to change my oil.
Just oil change, and that doesn't include if something if it's not on the warranty, spark plugs, whatever.
I would much rather you pay a couple $100.
On a mortgage or a personal loan to be able to own the house, and then over time you can go down there and negotiate and buy it for less than the sticker, and then you don't have a car note. That's
right. I'd rather you instead of spending $50,000 on a new car, mm-hmm. Spend $25,000 on a piece of property, rent it out. Then after a year, you go back to the bank. You probably qualify for any kind of loan, any kind of
that's true.
car note you want.
Doesn't say anything. Hey.
Hey, sweetie. So, you got any parting words?
If you have any additional questions, feel free to give me a call. Again, my phone number is 601-454-2370, and my name is Brandee.
Hey, Mr. Boyd, type that into the into the thing there.
Brandee, and then you can reach out to me.
Oh, you spelled it wrong.
Come all the way back. BRANDEE.
No, two E's.
Williams behind 60, right? 601-454. You right? Williams.
You good? Showing up over here. Good work.
Tell me 601-454-2370. And again, call me. You can send me a text. You can send me a message. You can email me. You can text me, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you, answer any questions you all may have, and essentially get you steered in the right direction. Either if I don't, I know a lot of people. Definitely, you can contact me, and I'll put you in contact if you have something that's outside of my scope of expertise. But I'll definitely make sure you get that information so you can be able to, again, make money here in Jackson.
That's right. Let's go get this money, guys. Because, me personally, in politics, if you make money while you're in office, you go to jail. So while you're in politics, my view of it, since I don't know who is going to jail, I know who's not. Not you. And not me. I want my friends to make money.
That's right.
Right. So I'm out here canvassing, looking at these different properties and things like that. That's for you to go do. That's why we do these videos, right? Yep. Because it helps me serve my constituents better because I stabilize their neighborhood. Instead of them seeing a vacant house there all the time, we find somebody to buy it that lives around here, then it's a double win. That means someone else in the community will be a part of the wealth creation, and then the neighbors around that house will not have a vacant house and have a quality neighbor. So for me, it's neighborhood stabilization. For my friends, it's wealth creation. And to me, it's a win-win because that's how you keep crime down, is by having more stable homes inside of neighborhoods and moving forward. So,
okay.
Right.
Well,
so I guess since we have any parting questions, give them your number one more time, and the website and all that stuff.
Okay, 601-454-2370. My email address is brandee.williams@nelsonrealtygroup.net. So you can also, he had to go back to EE.
We'll do it over again.
Yeah, we'll do it over. But definitely give me a call or go to brandeewilliams.com, and you can actually get my contact information there as well. So,
okay.
All right.
Well, thanks
Thank you
a lot.
for having me.
God bless. And we'll see y'all next week.
Okay.
We're going to start this on a regular basis.
All right. Well, we
had such a big response last week. People been coming up to me, hey, you sell property? No, I know somebody who does.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you all next week.
And remember, everyone, never let anyone put you in a position where you don't love your own people. Because when you hate your own people, you're part of the very oppression we're trying to lift ourselves out of. I love you, Jackson. I love you, Mississippi. And we'll see y'all again at 6 p.m. at the radio station. Have a good day. God bless.